All right, so when we are talking about line graph, sometimes it's helpful to connect consecutive points in a scatter plot, okay, with straight line segments. A line graph and a linear function are two separate things. Y'all hear me? A line graph and a linear function are two separate things, okay? A line graph means that you are drawing a line and a scatter plot from one point to the next to connect each single point. Does that make sense? Okay. A linear function means that you're trying to find a general relationship that would connect all these points or summarize these points. Make sense? Okay. Line graph. So let's look at a line graph. So here it says use a table to make a scatter plot of the average monthly precipitation in Portland, Oregon. Then make a line graph. Okay. So someone recorded over a year the inches that they received in Portland every day for rain. Okay. So these are the amount of inches that they received. Clearly, it rains a lot in January and in December. In Portland, I would vouch for that because it was pretty wet and raining when I went in December one year. Okay. And we're going to plot them. Phew, here's our plot. Okay. With our expert, futuristic, because right now we're pretending that we're in middle school right now. With our expert futuristic powers, do you guys see a relationship here? Yeah. What's the relationship that we already know exists? What type of correlation is happening here? It is a quadratic correlation. Do we see that quadratic correlation? But right now we are pretending that we don't know anything about that, right? Because we're on line graphs right now. We are not even on functions. We're on line graphs. So what a line graph does is it's literally saying you're going to connect each point with a line. So you get a line, you get a line, you get a line, you get a line, you get a line. You're connecting them each with a line. Okay. That's what a line graph is asking you to do. All right. It is not asking you to find a linear equation for this, a linear function. I'm sorry, because we know that a linear function would not fit this. Does that make sense? Okay. Because we know that futuristic selves, we're like, oh, that's a quadratic. That's a chapter 2 problem. Okay. No, we're on line graph, and a line graph just wants you to connect them with the line. That is it. That is line graph. Could you be able to create a line graph? Yes. Okay. A line graph is used when you're trying to compare scatter plot points on a range. So, like when I'm saying describe what's happening from January to February. Well, from January to February, we can see that there is a decline in rain, right? Cool. Awesome. January to February. Could you describe to me what happens from October to November? From October to November, there's a pretty steady increase of rain. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's where the line graphs come into play. Okay. All right. Questions about line graphs. Do you think you could plot some points and create a line graph without us actually doing it? Or do you feel like you need some practice in this area? Oh, you probably can do it. Okay. I figured you could. I